The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Episode 7, War of the Worlds 2, The Challenge, Recap, Fantasy Scoring. We got it all for you, and if you want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, real easy ways to do so. I said ways, because there are two. Number one, smash the like button for this episode. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section. And let's go back to this once again. I mean, we already ran it once, but who do you think would win? Straight up in an elimination, like in the average elimination, the median elimination, Turbo or Jordan? Because now that's like a real thing that we all want to see happen. So do that. You're in the draw for 20 DK bucks. Also, subscribe, rate, review, and download the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Leave a 5-star review, DraftKings handle, something you like about the show. This is a really easy one to get that 20 DK bucks because so few people do it, which is the most important thing to this show. So please go do it, and you might get drawn for 20 DK bucks. Winners announced every Monday on the Pat Mayo Experience. Guess who's back? Paul Shaughnessy's back.
Yay!
Hello!
Yeah, good to be back. And to talk about an episode like this, everyone knows how much I love Turbo. Jordan's getting up in Turbo's face. He's just kicking a relic, man. Leave him alone. Leave Turbo alone. Turbo has no problems with anybody unless you try to get in his space. He was doing nothing wrong.
Well, it may have been,
Jordan does not want that smoke. He does not want that smoke, I will tell you that much.
he might want Turbo off this season.
That may have been that. I was thinking about it the whole time. Just like, all right, what time is a good time to get rid of Turbo? For Jordan, he's just like, this is the one guy I'm kind of worried about. If I go to a final with Turbo, I'm pretty worried. Zach, he seems to be on the same page with, they're on the same team essentially, or they're, at least right now, they're on the same alliance. Turbo is a big problem. He's just sitting there, just chilling. Nobody has the guts to call him out. He tries to call him out. You don't want to do that. Don't ever cross Turbo.
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely on Team Jordan, but it made no sense of why he was so upset about this entire thing. I listened to, he was on Challenge Mania last night talking about this, and I watched those like YouTube after the show type things.
I watched it as well.
And he was basically like, yeah, I was definitely in the wrong. And they really cut out Turbo and I talking. Because when we get to the end, they're like, oh yeah, they apologize. And like, it's like 2 seconds, like, Turbo, I am sorry. Yeah. Apparently they talked for like a bit and they like worked everything out.
Of course, yeah. It was funny because you were going into it, and I guess they just couldn't show you that conversation had happened. But I assume that conversation had happened, and he wasn't going to call. Like, it was a bad strategy. I love Turbo as much. But just like calling out him when you have zero power and you know that Jordan's not going to go in. He's a man of honor, but it is a burn vote.
It's not only a burn vote. And my wife, like when my wife is sitting there, like at least you and I work in TV, we can see some of these editing and producing tricks coming. She's just like, oh yeah, all that's going to happen is Turbo's going to go up there. They're going to do a flashback of Jordan and Turbo talking to themselves, and then he's going to vote for whoever they vote for. Yeah. Like, it's pretty easy.
That's give her a job in MTV, because that's exactly how it played out.
Yeah, I wish it was less obvious than that, but that's just what we're doing. Fantasy scoring.
I mean, sorry, the one thing I was just like dying to see, though, I wanted to see Zach just be like, oh, Jordan. And then all of a sudden Turbo votes in Jordan, and then Jordan's in there against Turbo. Everyone wants to see that matchup. Hopefully we see it soon, because, I just want to see Turbo kill him.
I don't know if Turbo would kill him, is the thing.
In what, or unless it's like a race in the water, like it's a swimming race. Turbo kills this guy everywhere.
I don't know. Jordan's basically like the best challenger there's been.
Bro, those YouTube videos, you have to refresh yourself on Turbo's YouTube videos. This guy is a certified G.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's great at kicking relics and doing spin kicks.
He's only been on the challenge once, and he won the whole damn thing.
In the spin kicking competition, I'm sure he could win.
Nobody wants. You know that you're just spouting falsehoods right now.
No, Jordan is.
Turbo smokes him.
Fantastic.
Imagine those guys threw hands.
Well, Jordan only has one hand, so that's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, good thing there's no boxing match elimination.
I hope. I mean, I'd be down
I'm sure
to
you
watch
would.
it.
That doesn't exist, so that's kind of tough.
Turbo beats him, man. We went down this path before. We doubted Turbo. Why would you doubt Turbo?
I'm not doubting Turbo.
People just got to stay out of Turbo's way. That's how you.
I am hyping up Jordan because I think Jordan's the best.
No, come on. The answer to the to the thing is give the episode a like, leave your DK handle, and write Turbo.
And
Because
Jordan
the answer is Turbo.
Now, the answer is Jordan. Turbo's number 2.
You're going to have the Turkish Mafia after you there, big guy.
Oh, that's fine. Good thing I don't live in Turkey.
Yeah, fair.
I'll just keep living my life and go about it liking my man, Jordan. My team captain of my fantasy team.
Yeah, you're
Jordan.
you're just biased here.
Oh,
at
there's
this
a
point.
reason I picked him because I think he's the best.
He's not.
He is.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, when he wins this season and Turbo doesn't, that's going to be 3 challenge wins for Jordan.
God, I just
one for Turbo.
God, I hope it just Turbo versus Jordan. Just inject it directly
I
into my vein.
actually want to see it.
I want to see it so bad. You know who's gonna win? You know I'm really starting to be like, oh man, this was the play. Is Zach?
Zach is going a long way.
Just like I was like looking at him at this challenge this week because they had the shirts off. They're walking through. It's just like he looks super toned. And like a lot less like bulk this year. He just looks like in very, very good running a final shape. And if he's with Jordan all this way, I think Jordan's going to back off trying to mess with Turbo right now. He doesn't have to deal with him as an enemy.
He doesn't, but I think that there now is a path to triggering Turbo to getting him to hit you.
Yeah,
If you
he may get kicked
if
off
you
of the
really want to
episode.
get rid of him, you send Josh up there and be like, hey, Josh, you want to be a team player? we won't vote you in if you go trigger Turbo and take a punch.
That's true.
Because Jordan's very it was very clear
you do not get up in Turbo's face unless you wanna I forget what the line was, but unless you want like big Turbo show or something like that.
Yeah, well, I guess
you want to throw hands, you get up in Turbo's face.
The one thing that I did find out, because generally, I've seen people been kicked off the challenge for doing what Turbo just did to Jordan, and apparently the reason that he wasn't is that for something that's like minor in this sense, you get a warning. And then if you do it again,
he was chasing him down. They're lucky that there was like 4 security guards holding this maniac back because he was about to kill him. He like ran around in a circle and then ran back, and there's 4 security like holding him back. He's like, "You fucking pussy, you chicken." Love it. Oh,
I loved it too. But Jordan was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna settle back now.
Yeah,
you go, have your temper tantrum. It's gonna be fine." So anyone does that to him again, and like. Turbo's prone to fight the security team. And if you start fighting like production, you're gone.
Yeah.
We saw, remember when Camilla did it? Just, you got to get out of here and never come back.
I know.
So there's a path there. I mean, no, let's say if it was me.
Sad that the only person that can actually ruin Turbo is Turbo himself.
Well, I mean, that's a mental part of Jordan was like having a breakdown this episode. People weren't doing dishes. That would kill me. As someone who likes to live very neat and very clean, being in a house with people who don't pick up after themselves, just leave dirty dishes all around, it's like going back to college again.
I spent 6 summers living out of a tent, so I'm sure I would be fine.
That's not the same, though.
Oh, it is.
If you lived in a house, you could do your dishes. In a tent, you
did
can't.
your dishes in a freaking...
Yeah, and you probably did them.
Yeah, but it was like disgusting water. But if you got in there late with your dishes, like the tub of water was just like food particles and stuff. Like you would not be very happy about this.
I would not.
Scenario.
I would also not be happy with like.
But then you just ingest so many
either.
germs that you just don't get. You don't get sick because you're just ingesting germs. The washing hands at tree planting was also the most, like, if you got there late and there was just like the warm water was cold at this point, it was just like brown. You're just like, what am I even washing my hands in?
So you just had to bring like a industrial sized tub of Purell with you wherever you went?
Nah, I just use that dirty water
just
and
peed on your hands and been like, yeah, sterile, good enough for me.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
I've been there.
Fantasy scoring for the episode. Turbo is the big winner with 149 points. Jordan was second.
Seems low even still.
It does.
Turbo was about to kill somebody.
It's very clear like Turbo's not on Rob's team, so he doesn't get like a bonus 70 points every week.
Rob was very out on Turbo preseason, so after he looked through all of his spoilers, realized something's up with Turbo, or he just assumed that Turbo wouldn't score points in between.
Yeah, also Rob ended up with Zach on his team too.
Yeah. And Josh, who's been like overperforming really.
Yeah, so Turbo 149, Jordan 124, Zach 101, Tori 81, Ninja 42, and I think Georgia scored 31. 28.
Georgia, that's her floor. That's Georgia's floor. We just have to roster her every single. She cries every episode. This episode, I don't even think she cried.
I think she cried when Bear got eliminated.
It was close. I don't know if she got awarded for it, but she probably did cry. I don't know if she would have got points for it. But either way, this is her floor. And like every episode, somehow she just gets points.
And it's one of these things where they're not winning.
Yeah.
If she was actually winning, she'd be getting way more points.
Exactly.
Is the UK team in like better shape now? They need to get rid of like Esther.
I mean, Bear kind of made them slightly weaker. They have to get rid of Esther. Like you just see Esther, like when they were carrying around the relics or whatever on the pyramid, and it's just like Esther's just like, because she's so short, she couldn't actually like help with that process whatsoever. She was just literally running ahead, so she's dead weight. 100%.
Well, I mean,
I guess she was taking the relic off in between those sections and grabbing the new one. Like, I don't think she was even putting it on top because they gave it to Theo because he was so much taller. He was able to just kind of place it.
well, the way that I kind of figured it was the people that were walking out ahead. Apparently, there's like a lot of dips and huge rocks in that river, and that's why Zach was getting so mad at Ninja that she wasn't actually telling them what was going on.
Yeah,
and Ashley was, and everyone was just like, "Yeah, Ashley's doing a great job."
Yeah,
Ninja, you're doing nothing like usual, just being an idiot.
Yeah, she's.
They need to get rid of Ninja, man.
I agree. I mean, it's no secret how I feel about her.
Well, let's talk about the elimination then. Poor Bear.
I know.
Wrong one to get into.
I just what
Any
my fantasy team is like I'm going after like a low ball at this point. Like
well,
it's pretty sad. I had all the people I kind of enjoyed and yeah, they're all going home. Like Bear's gone home.
Laurel's gone home.
Laurel's gone home. Wes.
I finally lost my first person this week with Bear. He had a bad strategy. He could have won against Josh. And there was one of them, and maybe it just would have come down to Josh is so much bigger. He just runs him over, and that's going to be the end of it. But there was 2 times during the hall brawl that, one, if he had just stayed to the outside of because they kept meeting up at the same spot every single time, and it would be Josh hanging around Joss hanging around the corner like really tightly. If Bear had just kind of like went like this around the outside,
tripped him.
Not even necessarily tripped him, just got by him.
Let him run around that corner and trip him.
Sure. I mean, the one time he tripped him was the one time that he won. But Bear was actually faster at doing it. Mm-hmm. It's just once they got piled up, Josh pushed him back enough to give him like a one haul head start. But there was twice where like Bear just kept hanging on to him when Joss was clearly gassed. And if Bear had just taken off the other way, he probably would have beat him.
Maybe.
That was his shot to do it. And he decided to like hold on to like.
I mean,
you're not stopping Joss.
A hall brawl is not exactly the ideal thing for Bear to go in. And do, right?
Against
like,
a huge guy.
Even Rogan, like, we haven't seen him do much. We saw him gas 2 seasons ago. Or, yeah, was it 1 season? Either way. One time he was on, he gassed. But, like, the guy looks in incredibly better shape than he did on that one-off episode.
Yeah, and even...
Like,
I guess,
he's going to be a lot bigger than Bear as well. It could be popcorn muscle, but, like...
Sure. I do think that, like, if you wanted... I guess the Americans didn't care. That Joss is like a clear winner of that competition. It'd be like if you threw CT in against Bear.
Like, it would have been a disaster.
But Rogan was the one. I guess Idris is a bit smaller than.
It shows that the U.S. is not concerned about Rogan all that much.
No, because if you throw in Rogan, I think that Bear has the best chance of beating him just because of size. Like he's like
Idris may sneakily be the best guy on the.
He can't swim, so that's not
true. But, like, I mean, like, in a hall brawl scenario like that, besides CT is just so much bigger.
CT is winning that.
Yeah, he's so much bigger, but it just made him maybe the second best. I mean, the guy's like a pro boxer.
Yeah, apparently Bear was a boxer, too. Did you see the Scotty T versus Bear fight?
Yeah.
I think we should go to that.
Where? It's in the UK? I
think it's in, like, Liverpool
I'm in.
We just go. We'll do the show for a week long. Like, it's like, hey, it's week 13 football. Who cares? We're going to Scotty T versus Bear, and I don't think that Scotty D can use his Turbo D in this fight, so I think Bear's got him.
I think Bear's live, for
Although,
sure. We've seen Bear getting in better shape over the last few years. Like, it's all about narratives, right? And what's Scotty T been up to? Like, probably hitting the gym and using his Turbo D, but, like...
I mean, if he wasn't using his Turbo D...
Fighting's a lot about cardio.
You should see pictures of Scotty T these days. Guy is jacked.
Yeah, but does he have the cardio to go?
I mean, he has, like, an 8-pack. It's hard to get an 8-pack without doing a ton of cardio.
Fair.
You can't do like Rogan even looks like a bit beefier, but he's not like in Joss.
I got to see these guys. I got to see them at the weigh-ins, see how, like, you know, size disparity and stuff like that. Like, who's bigger between those two guys?
I have no idea. Like, I have no real conception of how big Bear is. Like, he looked to be around.
I mean, this all matters. I don't know if there will be some sort of, like, small, like, British book that'll have a line on this. Like, you can bet on that, like, KSI versus Logan Paul and stuff like that.
Oh, and I think that both of them are sponsored, like Instagram sponsored by betting books, potentially even the same betting book. So that one probably has a line on it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're not going to get very many limits out of it. But I'd like I'm down. I'm down to watch it. A little crossover in my interests.
I've never been to England, so it might be a good time for me to go. Have you ever been to England?
No, never been to Europe.
I've been to Europe, and I've never been to the British Isles.
No.
I don't know why.
You're not going there for the food
definitely,
or the weather.
Yeah, well, the weather's like more temperate than here.
I mean, but it's
weather
basically like Halifax.
The weather is very equivalent. It's slightly warmer than where I'm from.
Yeah,
we just get more snow where I'm from. I don't think they get a ton of snow in England.
No,
like,
it
at all.
Just rains every day.
Yes,
and it's over. That's why everyone's so freaking pasty.
Yeah,
all these Brits, except for the ones, I guess Bear always has a good tan. That's probably a little bit of going to the salon, but also I think he like goes and spends his time in Thailand in between seasons.
Yeah, go wherever. You have all this money. Why wouldn't you? And your job is being on Instagram. Go to the coolest places possible.
Exactly.
Is Joss the best player on Team UK?
It could be Idris.
It's definitely not Idris.
Why not?
I mean, because we haven't really seen him do anything. He beat that one guy who was like a bit of a scrub.
And he killed him. And then everyone's
He
been
didn't even really
intimidated.
kill him.
Nobody's wanted to be in Idris's face ever since then.
I guess so. He just seems like such a non-factor on that thing. Maybe
because he doesn't talk.
Like, would you take Idris versus Theo in anything?
Not a running race. A hall brawl, maybe.
Maybe. Although Theo beat Kyle in the hall brawl last year.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Interesting.
But
I mean, Idris is... It's interesting just CT and Idris on that team. Like, they are the swing votes. Eventually, they're going to... But the problem is like that Rogan, Joss, like, Joss can probably handle his own. But it's like Rogan and like some of the other jabronis in that alliance on that side. It's like, I don't know if... Like, they're setting themselves up to get far, but it's just like once they start trying to pick off guys on their own team, it's like, I don't know if Rogan's beating Idris. I don't know if he's definitely... I don't think he's beating CT. Like, what do they plan on doing with CT? Because CT may smash all of these guys unless it's a endurance feat of some sort.
Yeah, like even if it's a puzzle, I think CT beats them all.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He was bragging about how good he is at puzzles.
Well, it's real easy to brag about how good you are at puzzles when no one includes you into doing the puzzle. Then you can't lose. There's no downside.
It's true.
So
I like CT.
We had a trivia challenge. We had a puzzle challenge. CT was not included in either one, despite the fact that he was bragging about how good he is at both.
Fair. I like what CT's up to this season.
So do I. I think he's real savvy, and it feels like he's just waiting to get thrown in so he can go switch to the American team.
Yep.
And if that's the case, no one's voting him in.
Nope.
Like, who's on that pecking order now for them? Like, Josh is clearly at the bottom.
Yeah, but like now the decision, now I guess the next move for them is to try to get rid of Theo. That British team is going after Theo.
But here's the thing.
It's girls next week, so it'll be Georgia's against that other group, right?
So that's actually...
And they just gained all of the power. So like they're going after, Georgia and...
It's just Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
They
what other girls?
They don't want to throw in Jenny because Jenny will just dust them and everything.
Fair.
So
who else is there?
You throw in Georgia every time right now. And this actually works out well because Georgia should be able to beat basically everyone else besides...
Exactly. Kaylee versus Georgia. Georgia
Esther
wins.
versus Georgia, Kaylee versus Georgia. So Georgia can actually do the dirty
that's
for
what,
that team
is that
and make them a lot better just by eliminating Kaylee and Esther. And now they're like kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, like that's the funny thing about this alliance is just like it's not an alliance of good players. So it's like eventually you get to a point when they're good, they're gonna just start getting picked off. Like Esther is the layup matchup that is remaining by far, and it's not even close.
Nani versus
give me Nani versus Esther all day.
Well, yeah, but they're probably not going to go up against each other.
No, I know.
So like it'd be Nani versus
unless Nani ends up in an elimination. They're like, come on, throw me a bone. And like, they give her Esther.
Nani versus all the American girls. I think she just gets smoked.
I agree.
Just like Josh versus all the American guys get smoked. And then it's probably Leroy who's next on that list.
Yeah. That's not unreasonable.
No. And there's a double elimination next week. You think it's one guy, one girl?
It's
or two
about
girls?
time they start because there's a lot of people left right now.
Yeah, we're in episode. How many episodes?
This is episode 7.
So this is episode 7. How many episodes are in this season? And they extended it by 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's time. Double elimination. It's perfect timing for that. We got to see a lot of things happen here.
And it's a guys' elimination day?
It's a
girls' elimination day.
Esther and Kaylee.
Do you think it's whatever team?
It'll be hard because Esther and Kaylee have the numbers on their team, though.
Like, do you vote in
All right, let's play this scenario.
But I don't even I don't even know how the rules work.
Americans go into the thing. Americans win because they win what, like 75% of these.
95%.
Yeah, so
they lost one so far.
They win. Who gets voted? Georgia gets voted in by the British Council.
Okay.
And then
The Americans throw in probably D or Kaylee.
yeah,
Like throwing in D.
Kaylee.
Throwing in D is the best move the Americans can do because she's the only other like decent girl on the team.
Or just throwing Jenny.
Or throw in Jenny. Yeah.
If it's the Americans and they're committed to continuing their one side, and it could be two men, or it could be a guy and a girl that go home too.
Yeah. So it could be one guy, one girl.
Yeah.
Or you get into a situation where there's like, remember last year when there was 3 people in the elimination? It might end up being something like that, like 2 UK girls and 1 US girl, and then whoever wins it ends up winning. That could be the way that it goes.
Maybe what Jordan does in this type of situation.
Which teams?
No, is puts Turbo in against someone like CT.
That would be interesting.
Try to get everyone against Turbo, so you guys put him, or yeah, you put CT. CT gets voted in because he's like not willing to side with anybody, and then Turbo. You go, we need to put a serious person in there to try to get rid of CT from the other side. Well, you don't really have any sort of allegiance with Turbo at this point in the game, so.
I just think that Turbo is more in with the Americans than Jordan is. Like overall, I think like the votes would go to Turbo over Jordan. I could see Jordan. I could see them just turning on Jordan and throwing in Jordan a whole bunch of times, which would be a huge mistake because he's going to go in there and win a whole bunch of times.
Maybe.
Unless he gets caught in like I said, like, and Turbo's kind of the same way. I can't think of.
Give me a hull, bro, with CT and Turbo.
I mean, CT wins. CT beats
so much violence.
I think that the only person that beats CT in a hall brawl potentially is Zach. Maybe Leroy because he's huge.
Well, I guess
those would be the 3.
They're not going to do a hall brawl again, unfortunately.
No, but I think they beat all of those guys.
What about a ring? What about a ring of holding onto the ring between Turbo and CT?
Oh, I don't know. That's tough.
That one could be very tough.
Because we saw Darrell beat.
Because it starts to become a game of endurance.
Game of endurance and grip. Because grip is different than strength.
Yeah.
Like, because we saw Darrell beat Zach at that, like, X game. Like, a few seasons back. And, like, he whooped him.
Yeah.
Darrell's half the size of Zach. He's great grip. So
explosive power.
Does have explosive power. The guy has solid Instagram workout videos.
I bet.
Well, someone was even going on the other day about like, you got to, because the UK team is all big, like you need to go in and prove yourself, mate, and all this stuff. But like, hasn't Banana shown and like Darrell before him that the move to winning the challenge is never get thrown in? Darrell won 3 challenges before he saw an elimination. Just go to the final.
I mean, the people saying this, it's like Kyle actually. It's a couple of funny.
He's kind of skating by.
Oh yeah, he's just kind of staying out of everybody's way. Good on him. But like that Bear losing too, we kind of just forgot about him. Bear going home is bad for Kyle too because they were in cahoots.
Sort of, but I think this is just bad for Theo. Theo is very easily the guy that they vote in every time now.
Yeah.
So ideally,
they're literally just making their team worse by doing all of this.
Maybe. But it gives them, like I said, the best way to go to the final and try to win is not get thrown in. So just throw in Theo every time because he has no other votes and just pray you're not the one who gets voted in against him.
Yeah.
Because you think like Idris ends up getting thrown in, Joss versus Theo is a good matchup. I think Theo beats him.
Depends.
I get that it depends, but if we're taking like the median challenge of all the ones we've seen so far, I think that Theo beats Joss more than Joss wins. Probably like 60-40.
I'd be Team Theo in that matchup as well. Olympic level athleticism.
I mean, Bananas should have beat Theo when we think about it. Bananas just fucked himself. I think he wanted to go home on purpose.
He probably just already cashed his checks. He's a busy guy. He's got other shows.
Yeah, he had to go to North Korea to film his TV show. I gotta get out of here, guys.
Exactly.
But Theo, Josh. No, it's intriguing. There is a way where you could sculpt down the UK team where they would give you a good run in the finals. And losing is the best way for them to do it. And the only actual mission that they won was the one that Bananas intentionally lost for the Americans.
it's really one-sided, man. Yeah, we're gonna see. Honestly, yeah, the alliances are set up for them to have a really, really pathetic squad going to the final against an American super team. I wonder when all of this turns into one-on-one though, because that's happening. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, even if I was like running, even if that wasn't in the cards and I was a producer and I looked at how the season was going, I was like, we need to do something else here. Maybe it's not individual, maybe it's teams at 4, teams at 2, something like that, just to break it up a bit.
Yeah. The British team is getting better by losing their weak links, but they're actively, if they get rid of Bear, then they get rid of Theo
Theo's the wrong
Theo's
guy
the next guy that goes home, and then it's just like, okay, you have Joss and Rogan spearhead captaining this ship at this point. You still have Esther and Kaylee hanging around, like, no bueno.
Yeah, the move would be, the best case scenario for the UK is lose Esther and Kaylee, and then somehow the rules change. And you don't have to face the people on your own team. It's just an American versus UK elimination. Theo gets thrown in every time and just wins every time and just starts picking people off on the American team, which is possible if the rules got changed to that.
I guess we'll find out.
Theo versus Jordan would be a good one. And Theo versus Turbo. Because he's such a different skill
Body
set.
type.
Yeah, he's just a different skill set than they are.
It's a tough matchup. It's like the guy's 6'5". Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. We haven't seen like a great matchup. The best matchup we saw was Ninja versus Laurel. And I think Laurel would have won if she had like known the rules.
I mean, she just missed her. She missed the spot and then tried to get away with it. That's all that really happened.
Yeah.
It happened obviously on one of the lower things, which makes it harder for her too because it's visible. Like if she had missed one like 40 feet up the pole, I guess Ninja ended up jumping up there anyway. But if it was like, you know, one of the third last one that she missed or something like that, maybe she doesn't get busted.
Yeah, potentially. Because they both missed the same one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. American side, anything? Not really, right?
Not really. If the Americans lose, like Nani's just
Nani's on thin ice.
Nani's just holding on at this point. But like she's got nothing on her, like nobody's on her side.
Turbo.
She got Turbo and she's got Leroy partially, but not really. Leroy's just trying to be like, hey guys, I'm the team guy here. Yeah, which is like maybe good for his survival, but
it might be. But like, I also don't think like Nani's like, I can't trust Leroy anymore because he didn't vote with me. It's like, well, the best thing that actually happened there was they voted in Jenny, you didn't.
Yeah.
So there's no blood on your hands about it. So Leroy did the best thing for you he possibly could.
Yeah.
So I think like she has Leroy and Turbo on her side. Maybe Turbo just like, listen, I'm switching teams if you vote in Nani.
Kara and Paulie, I think, are Team Turbo.
Yeah.
Over Jordan, at least.
Yeah, because Jordan and Tori and Zach seem to be aligned. I think Ashley's with them, too. Ashley's another
Ashley's wherever is the least dangerous to Ashley. Well, she's playing a very savvy game this season.
Yeah, her and Zach. Like,
staying out of trouble. She hasn't had, like, a blow-up, like, even a drunken blow-up with anybody. Like, she's very, very calm, isn't she?
It's strange, right? I feel like that's coming.
Like, it's got to. Like, she can't get drunk a whole season and not have a Smashly moment.
Maybe she quit drinking. Maybe that's the whole thing. She's wearing those big glasses.
Fair. Yeah, maybe.
And she's your best puzzle person on the team.
Yeah, she's low-key smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was the best at guiding them through the river. Way better. Zach
and Ashley are like the two people that just, they haven't really got that much screen time this season, and they seem to just be in a good spot.
Yeah, two former
They're
champions.
not really, they don't have any enemies right now, which is pretty good for them.
Which is shocking considering it's the two of them.
Yeah.
Zach, totally different when Jenna's not on a season with him, too.
Yep.
He can just kind of lay low. He has no drama with anyone. He's like very level-headed.
I mean, he's usually pretty, yeah.
His only feud is with Ninja, who he just really seems to enjoy bothering.
Yeah.
Him splashing the water at her was my single favorite part of the episode. I was like, that's exactly what I would do. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, get the fuck out of the way.
I mean, I feel like she's getting an unfair cut, but then whenever they do cut to her, it's like
she's still the worst.
She's making like weird noises and just, you know, sometimes people just rub you the wrong way. I don't want to be mean about her, but she wouldn't be my cup of tea.
She just seems really aggravating and annoying to be around.
She's just
and when you're
such
around,
a go-getter, you know, like a little bit too much of that, like, hey,
what was it?
Energy.
Did someone say it in the episode? Just like, yeah, like whenever you're not looking at Turbo, you turn around, he's ninja kicking something. And then if you're not turning around, like Ninja's climbing a tree or something like that. Yeah. She's like, calm the fuck down. We're here for 2 months. Like, just pump the brakes a little bit. Like, you don't need to be the most enthusiastic person about everything all the time. It'd be like if someone was super negative all the time, you'd want to get rid of that person. Yeah. You're just like, I just don't want to be around you anymore.
Yeah.
But it goes the other way, too.
Both can be pretty toxic. The negative is obviously a lot worse, but sometimes just like, you just don't want all of that bundle of energy. Like you're just chilling. You just finished a challenge, and you know you just don't need that extra. I don't know what it is.
If
She likes blaming a lot of other people too. She
Oh, yeah.
tries to play it off like she's always the victim and stuff, but it's like you actively kind of annoy people.
yeah, does she not realize
She
that?
doesn't. She's not wise to it. I don't think. I think that's pretty clear.
Well, on the next episode on, it looks like her and Dee get into it. You know, like they're supposed to be pals.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, but no, man, Dee doesn't want any of that smoke.
No, I like Dee.
Do you?
Yeah, I was watching her. I couldn't remember what like show she had come from. I forgot she came from Geordie Shore. So I was watching her like intro to. It's like, hey, I'm Dee. I'm on Geordie Shore now. Here are like 5 things about me, and like just watching, it's like, oh, I can see how you got cast on reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I'm outspoken. I speak my mind. It's like pause, but I don't always think about what I say before I say. It's like perfect. Here's the contract.
Exactly.
We just need your signature
Sign
right here. You are now on TV.
Yeah.
I just don't know how she is as a competitor is the problem. She could be good.
Yeah.
We know she can't swim, but it looks like she tries at least.
Yeah, she's got heart. She's got heart. I don't think she's athletically gifted in the same way that some of these others are.
No, not like Ninja is, but like she could pull like Cara Maria is not super, like she wasn't super athletic, but now she is.
She's put in the time.
Yeah.
This is a full-time job for Cara Maria, as they like to say.
I mean, I have her and Polly on my team, and I actually like feel bad about it because I'm not rooting for Cara to do anything here.
No, but it's kind of setting up that way. Like she's
Her and Polly should go to the end.
they're in a good spot right now.
They're in a better spot than Jordan and Tori, but like I think pressed down to it that Jordan and Tori are a better team than Polly and Cara are.
I agree.
It's because Jordan's better than Polly, and Tori might be better than Cara. We don't know. Tori's got crazy in her too. You see her step in front of Turbo, no fear. I like it. I don't know if my wife would do that for me. Especially with Turbo on the other side.
You would have taken a punch for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You've been punched in the face before.
I've been
though.
punched in the face enough times that, yeah, not by Turbo.
Yeah,
but
that would be kind of terrifying.
yeah, it would be great.
You're right though. Like
I would
Turbo
be the guy on the
is
season trying to get punched by Turbo.
Turbo is Turbo's biggest enemy at this point.
Like we saw almost
like he can be. Somebody can get up in that grill, and if they are willing to take a punch, that's a big ask too. Who wants to take that punch? But if you do take that punch, this is the way that I see you getting rid of Turbo the easiest is by getting up in his grill and throwing hands because he will win.
Well, you have those like club scenes, and it looks like there is one in the next episode because that's where Ninja and D fight. Just get. I guess Leroy is not the perfect guy.
Get somebody to go in there with
far
some drunk confidence.
Yeah,
'cause
like
Turbo's not drinking.
Like
while he's
bring
there,
Josh over to the bar and be like, "Hey, Josh, you're a real team player tonight. Here, have some tequila shots. Here's 5. See if you can do them all in a row." Hey, Turbo was talking. He kissed Georgia when you weren't looking, but that's my girlfriend.
I mean,
That was the saddest part of the episode when they were like doing like facials and whatever.
Josh is a big boy, and I think he could probably take a punch.
I think he could take a
I
punch,
think he
too.
could take a lot of damage, to be perfectly honest.
I
But
agree.
like, I think
I don't know if he's like
that's not good for his health.
no, but offensively, I don't think he's going to do too much.
No,
against Turbo.
but I think
if-
he would take a.
just
I
a
think he would
punch?
take a beating. He's got that type of look. He's got a big face, big jaw. Like he's got the type of face. So like,
And he's
this,
a big dude.
This guy can weather a storm
So that's
for
the
sure.
move. Jordan, get Josh super drunked up and tell him to go fight. Not necessarily go fight Turbo, but like go say something off kilter to Turbo.
I
a
just
little
hope
bit.
calmer heads prevail.
I
for
don't
my
have
boy
Turbo.
Turbo.
I need him gone or he's gonna
Turbo's
win.
all I got left. My team's like toast, but I should have captained him rather than Laurel. That was the original thing. I've learned my lesson again.
Just always take Turbo.
Just always Captain Turbo. I know he hasn't done that much, but I'm Team Turbo
I actually
to the
think that
max.
the person to captain is probably Georgia
yeah.
because she's just gonna score points.
And she's always like, I feel like next season, I don't make the pricing or anything, but like, I think you just have to max Georgia out. Like she has to be 200, like all the other people.
well
I know that she doesn't have the long-term history, but it's just like the sample size we have. Georgia is just a smash play every single season. She just cries every episode. Banking those crying points is huge.
and she's like down to hook up.
Oh yeah, well, of course.
Do you think she'll end up hooking up with Josh,
I hope not.
his girlfriend?
I think.
Bear was over there.
I mean, Bear's gone now.
Bear
so
was
who
over there
knows?
putting his hands on my girlfriend, and I don't like it.
I don't think that's very good for her brand, but who
Wait,
knows?
hooking up with Josh?
When she gets a little bit drunk, who knows, man? I think it's very, very live to happen.
All right, any more challenge thoughts?
Not really, no.
Yeah, me neither. Good episode.
Yeah, it was good.
I like seeing 2 heavyweights like Jordan and Turbo get like face to face. maybe fighting.
Hopefully see more of it. This is going to get ugly before it gets any better.
I want to see some sort of move from CT too. I think he might have something going on with Zach.
He could.
Like,
Could be
that's a
with
very
Zach.
logical move. Be on the same team as Zach, and like you're two big guys. Figure that out.
Yeah,
because something's brewing over there. Because if he can get Idris,
they got to get rid of. Yeah, that team has to figure out how they're going to get rid of Paulie and Kara. That's what this comes down to. At
well,
least.
Ninja's on their team too, so they have Turbo, Ninja,
Because
Paulie.
right now, at least it seems like they have a bit of a advantage in terms of numbers. Ashley has been linked to Kara. You don't think that's the case though? Ashley, I think, could bounce.
I think she's just floating. Like if there was like a secret, like
But Cam is supposed to be with
I
Paulie and Kara.
totally forgot Cam was on this season. Like she's not doing anything.
She's not doing anything.
which is probably for her benefit.
I feel like for her, it'll be like you'd be like, oh, she's not getting very much screen time. She's making it to the finals, but like I think maybe just not much is happening with her. And then when we start getting a lot of Cam in an episode, that'll be Cam going home.
Cam
episode.
winning or Cam going home. She likes to talk a lot of shit about how great she is at eliminations. So
Just got to go in there and prove it.
yeah, could go prove it again, Cam. We'll see. I like Cam.
I think Jenny's the one to watch out for.
Maybe Jenny should align with CT.
She would look like by far like when they did that swimming episode a few episodes back. Like
she was good.
Her times were on par with some of the more average guys. And Jordan killed it, and there was a couple other people
Even
killed.
Benet.
But like hers was like I think like her and Joss had the same time.
Yeah.
It's like okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. And she said that she wasn't even much of a swimmer. She just has like great cardio from being a personal trainer and all that stuff, and she's jacked. Like she's a problem.
She is the number one problem that the U.S. has.
Yeah.
But maybe the move is, just continue to throw her in. Or don't throw her in against, like, the scrubs. Like, maybe you can see if an Esther can beat a Georgia or something like that.
Yeah.
But anytime that you see that, like, when they walked in, it was very clearly Hallbrawl to the elimination.
Yeah.
So then maybe you can even change your vote a little bit. Just be like, oh, well, if Bear's going in, like, they should have been like, oh, maybe we'll give him someone that he can beat. Kind of thing, instead of like the best guy on their team who's the biggest that's not CT. With Jenny, if whoever gets tossed in, maybe you look like, is it really worth it to throw Jenny in against Georgia if she's voted in, if it's like Hall Brawl or Powerball or something like that? No, well, you're just wasting it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like let Georgia pick off someone else and toss in Jenny against someone like decent, and you want to keep Georgia around because she's probably the best one for that. And like, is it a puzzle? Okay, we have a shot here. Not saying that she's going to win, but she has a chance to lose at this one.
Mm-hmm. It's all going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
I'm waiting for the shakeup. I can see it coming after a double elimination.
Yeah. By the way, all of you guys are on the same team now. Because now they even out the guy and girl numbers for something.
Or it's like, oh, now there's 4 teams. You have your teams, and here's 32 new people coming in.
Everyone's been in a redemption house, by the way.
entire time.
The season will never end. That could happen too. I'd be pretty triggered by that.
would not.
Also, I'd be pretty happy because my whole team's been eliminated.
For fantasy purposes, sure. For a viewing experience, no. I hate redemption houses.
I
hate them so much.
I know. It's like once you go out that door, you're gone. That's just the way the challenge works.
Unless it's very clear that there is one.
Yeah.
I like that. Because then there's like planning you can do.
I still think I overplayed. I don't like seeing it. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to challenge. I want, my episode to culminate in somebody going home. Like I don't like these hangers and teasers and stuff.
Have we got
the big hangers coming soon?
Yeah, the big hangers definitely count. We need like a good elimination though.
Be like a CT versus Turbo matchup.
Yeah,
that would be a hanger because just like, all right,
I'm tuning in next week to find out who wins.
I will see what happens.
Or I could just ask Rob because he's definitely read all the spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. For that, that's a good point as well. Maybe that's what he knows. CT beats Turbo.
Just knocks out Turbo. Yeah, not having Turbo on his team is really suspicious. Like, I don't have Turbo, but I really wanted Jordan. And I didn't really think about it all that much. But Rob, he's doing the reason I'm so good because I do hours and hours of studying for this.
Yeah, if you're doing hours and hours of the deeper you go into studying for this stuff, you're just going to come across spoilers. That's what happens. Like even last year, I beat myself up for not going to Turbo's YouTube page and seeing him just like running through woods, just doing gangster shit all over the place. Like that is fair game. What has this guy done before? But like, I think he's going into other things, seeing You know, link us to all these websites, Rob. What websites have you went to gather your preseason information? Spoiler sites.
Yeah, he's just trolling. He's trolling Reddit, is what he's doing.
100%. Yeah.
Under his fake teams.
He's probably got like all of his little screen captures from his articles and stuff, which you should give a read. It's a good
read. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, all of that stuff. These are probably already like pictures that he's booked away. Like, he doesn't even have to do any prep. He just has them all written. Every episode. He already has the tape from the deep message boards on Reddit. We're on to you, Rob.
Yeah, we know
what's up.
All right, Paul Shaughnessy, where can everyone follow you and watch you?
You can follow me at Paul Shag on Twitter. You can watch my UFC show. There seems to be a UFC card every single week. So that's called the Dogger Pass podcast right here on the DraftKings YouTube channel.
Yes, and it is on the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast feed. I told you about the giveaways. Get into the draw. Smash the like button for the episode. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comments section and tell me who you got, Jordan or Turbo. We're going back to this again. It's clearly Jordan. The other way to do that is to subscribe, rate, review, and download the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Leave a 5-star review, DraftKings handle, and something nice about the show. And you two will be in the draw for 20 DK bucks. Winners announced live on Monday's show. All right? I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!